Hey, what's up? This is Mike Portnoy, and you're hanging right here on RockMAP. Yeah, absolutely. Everywhere we go, the response is great. From America to Europe, South America, Asia, everywhere. People love this band, and the response to the new songs feels great live. It just, it feels very, very natural, mixed in with the first album, and it's nice to now have one whole show of just Winery Dog material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, first time around we had no expectations. We didn't know if people would like it, we didn't know how we would work together. It was all just an experiment. But everything went so great the first time. We wrote together well, we worked together well, we enjoy each other's company. The critical response and fan response was great. So this time around, now we have expectations because we had all of those experiences, but everything has met the expectations. Mm-hmm. The shows are all doing well and people still come out. The first time everyone's going to come out of curiosity. I guess the real test is if they keep coming out. And so far, so good. Well, just when we wrote the album, I think we wrote 16 songs maybe, and certain ones to me were very strong, and others I didn't care so much about. But then after we do the process of the writing and the recording of the basic tracks, then everything gets handed over to Richie, and then he has to do the melodies and the lyrics and the guitar and everything. So, he ended up immediately clicking to certain songs that maybe for me weren't my favorites, like Fire and Spiral. Those were less my favorites, but he immediately clung to them as a vocalist and got them finished. And then after he started doing 12, 13, 14 songs, he was like, that's enough. But he still hadn't done Empire. And I was like, no, that's a great one. Like, don't forget about that one just because you're getting tired and lazy, So I had to twist his arm to make sure he got around to that one because I knew that was a great full band piece. I think at this stage of our careers, all three of us have been around a long time. We've made, hundreds of albums at this point and played thousands of shows. We want to just be happy doing what we do. I don't think any of the three of us have to do anything at this point anymore. We've won all the awards you can win. We've played all of the biggest, most amazing concerts of our careers. At this point, all three of us want to just be, emotionally and musically satisfied. And, I'm completely inspired playing with both of these guys. They're two of my favorite musicians on the planet. So at this point, we just keep doing it because we want to, not because we have to. Yeah. Well, for me, I'm not a sort of guy that writes on my own. To me, it's all about collective writing and working with the people surrounding me. And I'm a big, big part of all the writing and arranging whatever I'm with, but it's always with other people. So there's a certain chemistry writing with Transatlantic, there's a certain chemistry writing with the Winery Dogs, there's a certain chemistry writing with Flying Colors, even, writing with Dream Theater for all those years. My piece of the big puzzle is more of a collaborative one. So it's not like I'm home writing songs and I'll bring them into a different band. For me, it's all about the collaboration. And even with this new Winery Dogs album, none of the three of us came in with anything. Even Richie, didn't come in and present anything. We had a little bit of that the first time around because we didn't know how it would go. So we fell back on a few of Richie's ideas. But this time around, we had a completely blank canvas to work with, and the three of us wrote everything from scratch. Now, I have a busy summer juggling 3 different bands, maybe even 4. I mean, obviously the Winery Dogs will fill out a summer schedule as well. That's still to come. But my schedule already has a lot of Twisted Sister shows. I'm going to be doing all of their farewell shows. I also have some shows with Metal Allegiance, and maybe even some work with Neil Morse as well. So a lot of juggling for me. They were great. We're not going to do dog camp this year just because we're in the middle of a tour cycle, and we're going to have other obligations. But we've done 2 dog camps so far. They were both really cool, very intimate, and just unique experience for everybody. I'm very OCD, obsessive compulsive, and not only does that apply to me collecting things or whatever, but it also applies to how I juggle and manage my schedule. And I'm in charge of it all. I don't leave my schedule in somebody else's hands, a manager or an agent. I'm the one that's in charge of my schedule, and because I'm a very obsessive compulsive person, I'm very responsible. I'm very professional, and I just pay attention and just be responsible with making sure everything is scheduled right. I have a lot of gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude for this incredible career that I have, and I get to play with so many great musicians, and I have great fan support. There's not many drummers that could leave such a high-profile band and have a career that's as busy and successful as mine has been. So I don't take the credit for that. I give the credit to my fans for allowing me to be able to have a career like this. This year is pretty much going to be all about the Winery Dogs. That's my main focus. That's my main band, full time. And then in between, when I can, I'll be doing the Twisted Sister shows and some Metal Allegiance stuff, like I said. And next month we're going to start work on a Neil Morse band album. So that's my focus for now. Who knows what will come up, though? You never know. I mean, this time last year, I never expected having Twisted Sister in the mix. So you never know when something may come along, and knowing me, if I could squeeze it in, I'll do it. All the awards, to me, they're very flattering, but they're also intimidating, because they then put this expectation on me, and I don't consider myself a great drummer. I consider myself just a music fan that's a very, very passionate artist, and the drums just happen to be my instrument. But every time I win one of these awards, it's nice, but I almost feel like, no, I don't want people to think that I think I'm this great drummer, because to me, I'm just a kid playing drums, and I love music, and I don't even like doing drum solos live. To me, it's like, doesn't really interest me. I have many favorite drummers. I think it's important that you use the word favorite, though. That's the thing about these awards. There's no best. There's no better. It's all subjective. And to me, when I win an award like that, to me, it's like a symbol of being somebody's favorite drummer. There's no best. It's not a competition. But some of my favorite drummers, the ones when I was a kid, the ones that inspired me to be who I am were John Bonham, Keith Moon, Ringo Starr. Those were the big three when I first started. Then I discovered like Peter Criss and Marky Ramone. I was a big fan of Kiss and the Ramones when I was like, 12 and 13 years old, when I was in my early developing stages. And then I discovered progressive music, and then that's when Neil Peart became like my hero for many years, and guys like Terry Bozzio and Bill Bruford and Simon Phillips, more progressive drummers. And then the whole metal world came around in the mid 80s, the whole thrash scene. So guys like Lars Ulrich and Dave Lombardo and Charlie Benante, guys who have since become my friends, they were a big influence on my double bass drumming. So many, many favorite drummers. There's just a short list right there. Yeah, I haven't been there, I don't think, but I stopped doing drum clinics about 12, 13 years ago. In the 90s, I did hundreds of them, and it was a good thing for me at that period of my life, but now at this stage of my life, I have other interests. I'd much rather play with other musicians and make music and be a drummer in the context of a song. So these kind of drum festivals, I stopped doing them just because, to me, I have no interest in playing drums by myself and doing drum solos and talking about technique. I'm just at a different phase in my drumming. I think we've said it all. I just always happy to play here. It sounds like a cliche, but for me it's the truth. I love the Spanish fans. It's always one of my favorite places to play.